Hello and welcome to Overanalysis, the show that makes you think. This week we're discussing the Ouya. I'm your host, Bryan Nissen. With me today is James Provinciali.
The Ouya savior.
Dan Mahalik.
Meh.
And Joe Riggio.
Ouya.
Alright, so James, as the only one of us that actually owns an Ouya, do you want to start us off?
I like the console. It's cool. It definitely progressed a lot since when I first got it. Because when I first got it, I played it and then I was like, as Dan would say, meh. And I put it back in my drawer because it's that small. But
Until July 25th, when Towerfall came out.
June 25th.
6 months from June. Now it's July.
No, it's June.
Oh, January 6 months from July is my hair. Sorry, keep
No.
going.
No, but yeah, I really didn't start playing again until I read there was updates. And the updates have made the system better and more usable. It's still not where, ideally, everyone wants it to be, but it will be, hopefully, in the future. And, yeah, that's Towerfall. And Towerfall is probably one of the funnest local multiplayer games I ever played. So it's worth that for it alone.
No, that statement is completely wrong. Towerfall is the most fun multiplayer game.
Can you go into? You mentioned there was a bunch of updates from the start. Can you tell us what the updates actually did?
Well, it was very laggy, the overall interface. It looked a little different than it was.
Did it look worse? Because it's pretty bad now.
It looked worse, yeah. It's not as bad. It's not as bad as it used to be. They added a little more features for downloading and all this other stuff. They organized their store a little better. There are improvements, but they're a brand new company, so they have to. I don't know. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully it just gets better and better as it progresses. They redid the controller, which we don't have yet. We were stuck with the first generation ones, which are they're all right. They get the job done.
A little too boxy.
Dan, Joe, opinions on the Ouya?
The Ouya, I like it. It's nice, but there's no reason for anyone, in my opinion, to buy it. There's not a handful of games. They have some great people working on their contractors. I really like how they're going with getting people to getting people to develop for the Ouya, but it's just they're not doing enough.
Before we get to Dan, I actually wanted to just go into what you're talking about a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So Ouya had a Kickstarter. They raised, anyone remember the number?
And $8 million.
8 million.
8 million?
Yeah.
And they also had a lot of investor funding as well. So I think they had somewhere around in the neighborhood of $20 million to work with. So they had a lot of money to throw around. And how they decided to get developers to work for them, I think is really smart. They said, if you do a Kickstarter for your game and it makes over $50,000 and you agree to make it exclusive to the Ouya for 6 months, we will give you what you made on Kickstarter up to $250,000. $250,000. So that's a cool move.
I'm assuming they were able to do this because they made that $8 million as opposed to what was their original pledge, 200-something thousand.
Yeah.
You mean the original amount?
Yeah.
Keep in mind, like I said,
900.
they also had a lot of money from investors.
Yeah, they got $15 million from investors.
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah.
But with all this money to throw around, they still didn't get many big name developers.
Mm-hmm.
They get they don't get exclusives, but you'd be surprised. I believe the Walking Dead games are on it. Some Sonic games. There are some decent Double Fine's Broken Age is on it. I believe they get some things.
Quick thing,
I had
Broken Age is amazing. Moving on.
They do get some support, but not what they need with it, which is they need exclusive support, not just 6 months support. They need hey, you wanna play this game, you have to buy an Ouya, which I think that's what they're missing.
Yeah, Towerfall was the only thing they had for that, really, and
It's coming to PS4.
PS4,
And PC.
yeah, PS4 and PC, yeah.
And it's got more content on those versions.
And I think that Towerfall only made $2,000 for the developers.
No, it's sold
Is that profit?
In the first month.
Which we really don't have. There's really not a lot of numbers.
No numbers that I can find
Right.
after July.
So since we brought it up, we looked very hard for Ouya sales numbers. we could not find much. So for hardware sales, we found, as of August 2013, so that shows you how recent the data we found was, we estimate they sold between 82 and 93,000 units. That's including the 60,000 that they sent out to backers from their Kickstarter campaign.
It's probably near the middle because like the cap that we
Yeah.
used, it was like the cap that we basically we used the cap and it was closer to the minimum probably.
So at retail, not
Yeah.
from Kickstarter, they sold somewhere in the neighborhood of $22,000 to $33,000 with 33,000 consoles,
Yeah.
which isn't great. I mean, makes the Wii U look like it's doing good. But I want to say, just my general opinions, I think that Ouya could be an amazing thing. I think there's the section of the market that it would be perfect for. I mean, it's $100. It's not expensive. I mean,
Yeah, Wikipedia actually defines it as a quote-unquote micro console. And that's one of the major selling points. It's just like a nice, cheap thing.
And you can do a lot of stuff to it too.
Yeah.
A lot of like mods and like just change
oh yeah,
things around.
since we haven't brought it up yet, totally open source. That's also what I think is cool about it.
Are you able to connect external hard drives up to it? Because the onboard...
I'm not. I want to say that could have been the most recent update, but I know you could definitely put like flash drives in it and stuff.
all right, flash memory. But the only comes standard is 8 gigs and it could go up to 16. That's
Well-
not a lot.
No, it's 8 gigs or there's 16 gig models.
So yeah, 8 or 16.
But also,
But plus the
All right.
yeah.
I'm not trying to diss the games on the Ouya in any way, shape, or form, but they're not going to be big, like storage-wise.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like you're installing Killzone Shadowfall at like 50 gigabytes. You know what I mean?
Who would want to install that anyway? Oh
It had a good allegory for the Israel-Palestine conflict, and we're moving on.
no. All right. But
You still want to talk about Killzone?
No. Okay.
But for the games, this is, I think, the Ouya's biggest problem. If you go on any forums, besides the fact that forums are horrible places where the internet's worst people dwell, and they just, like, best bash everything. Like, everyone's like, oh, why would I get Ouya when all the games are, like, they're just, like, phone games or tablet games? People have to realize that, like, just...
That's not true.
Yeah, it's not true. Like, there's nothing stopping anyone from just making a very high-quality game that you can't play on anything else. It's just, like, the problem is... The Ouya right now, as we mentioned before, is just like it's like an indie machine, and just like people have good ideas, but that doesn't equal like awesome games. Like they need to do. They have to establish themselves some own personal studios that make original IPs and put quality work that people are like, oh, that game looks really cool.
The people who do the quality work won't want to
No, I'm saying
develop for them.
no. I'm saying that
They want to develop for systems that have more
No,
than...
that's what I'm saying. Ouya
80,000
themselves.
units.
Ouya has to make their own studios that make games that are going to sell the systems. And when the system starts selling, that's when the support comes.
All
So
right.
you should hire me. And I'll be...
I actually have a pretty interesting idea for Ouya. I want to see what you guys think.
Okay.
I think they should market it in developing countries.
That's always good, yeah.
Because it's...
Ooh, wait. Internet. Are those Google balloons there yet? I'm sorry.
Like if they're major, if like the main game on the console right now is Towerfall, which is local multiplayer.
No,
like,
but to get them. To download the games. Unless you like...
Oh, true. Yeah.
No, but like, for example, I know a guy who lives in Brazil.
Right.
And he was telling me that like a PS4 is like by $1,200 Like, it's ridiculous. So I think there's a market for that. I know nothing about international business. This is me just making sweeping assumptions, but what are your guys' opinions on that?
I think it's good, but the only thing is the whole internet
The
thing.
internet, I did not consider the internet thing.
Yeah.
Nintendo had a
my
way
no
of
knowledge.
dealing with it because they had a Chinese system that they actually set up like Nintendo booths where people would go in, and just install the game directly into their system.
That's good
They
idea.
could do that, but I don't think the Ouya would be in the position like they don't have enough money. But that is a good idea. I actually really do like that developing
In developing countries.
Yeah, in developing countries. I think that's a really good idea. Ooh, excuse me.
So, Ouya, I'm also available.
We're a tag team. I want to be your Phil Spencer, though. Did I get that right?
I want to be Phil Spencer. All right, moving on. Phil Spencer works at Microsoft. He's the head of Microsoft Game Studios, if anyone doesn't know.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the hardware.
All right.
One thing I want to mention, the fact that they accept a lot of controllers. That's a really cool idea in theory.
In practice.
In practice, like every time I've we played on yours, there's always been trouble syncing up the controllers, even sometimes the Ouya ones.
Well, that's because you
They're
can't cross
mixing.
the streams.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Like whenever I just use my two controllers, like it works perfectly. But when you start crossing streams,
while it is quirky, we've gotten to the point where we don't usually have trouble anymore.
Okay.
For reference, we connect 2 PS3 controllers and 2 Ouya controllers.
Yeah, I don't know, just like
You
that.
can
It's
hardwire a PS4 one in using the charging USB. But that kind of throws another little loop into the mix where it just...
You got 3 different controllers.
Yeah.
All right, so hardware-wise,
Tegra 3, right?
Tegra 3's pretty nice chip. It's in the Nexus 7s and like a lot of high-end Android tablets.
It's got 1 gig of RAM, and 8 or 16 storage, internal storage. It has an NVIDIA Mini. I think it was 270. I could be wrong, so don't take me on. But it is a mini version of an NVIDIA chip, which is a good chip actually. It's just in such a small package that I have a feeling if it tried to run these big, high-cost, performance-wise games, that it could pose a problem.
like obviously I can't run like the newest games, but looking back at it, like think about like right now the Ouya is pretty much, I would say, like on level with like the original Xbox and like PS2 and GameCube and all those systems. And looking back, like there's some really good games. And I guess also backtracking a little bit, I guess it also means the
Knights of the
Wii.
Old Republic.
Like also as strong as the Wii, maybe a little less. But like, what I'm saying is like,
Wait, is the Wii less? Or?
Are you saying the Wii is
no.
on par with the GameCube? Which is what kind of what you just said.
no, it's almost the Wii's. Well, but it is besides the point.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like, I guess like this is the kind of Nintendo's philosophy too. Going like, just because you don't need
Hardware doesn't sell consoles. Software sells
Yeah.
consoles.
We can still make
But
quality
to that
software.
point, they don't have many games. I mean, they got Towerfall, which I love and adore.
Oh no, I know, but
They
that
have
goes
them
back to
next
the
month.
developer.
They have the
problem,
Amazing Frog.
though. Yeah,
What is Amazing Frog? We have that in our notes. I don't even know what it is.
it's just this really
It's a
fun
frog,
frog
and you
game.
gotta jump really high, and it's the stupidest, funniest, so bad it's good game ever.
Yeah, and there's a boombox. But anyway, you could probably get a game like Halo 2 level running on Ouya, which I think would be awesome. Just people just have to make those types of experiences, and not to
There's a
mention,
lot of Quake for it.
and
For
not
Halo
to mention,
4.
Whoa.
and,
And I found many tutorials for installing both Halo 1 and 2 on Ouya.
and not to mention, Ouya's hardware updates every year, so we don't even know what their new specs are going to
The
be.
Tuya?
You should work
I'm
too.
available.
Damn, we're he likes crunching numbers. You don't have that much, so.
Anyway, so, yeah, I think updating the hardware will very much benefit them. I just wanted to talk about their marketing problem. Because, I mean, let's face it, anyone who doesn't, like, visit video game websites on a regular basis or, like, listen to podcasts or has an annoying nerd friend, they're not going to know what the Ouya is. They have no idea it exists.
Wait, did you even see the one commercial they made, or one of them with the throwing up?
No, I haven't.
Oh my god, it was so bad. Literally, like the commercial was like, I just spent $60 on this game. And then it's like, bleh! Like that. Like it's like one of the worst commercials in existence.
We'll put a link in the description.
There. What were you saying? I'm sorry for interrupting you.
I just think overall, I mean, we brought this up in our Nintendo episode. Go listen to that. But I feel like their main problem is presentation. I mean, everything from the UI in their system dashboard, which I think is atrocious.
It was a train wreck when it first came out.
Yeah, apparently it's better now.
And now it's not very good.
It gets the job done, though.
I mean, I would almost prefer, the Xbox 360 blades. You guys remember that?
There was nothing wrong with those blades.
Blades are cool.
There's nothing wrong with the blades, but I'm just saying.
Stop talking shit about my blades.
Alright, so... Alright, they had a commercial. I know about the Ouya. I was not aware that commercial existed. Where did it air?
I don't even know. Probably just a YouTube thing.
Yeah.
I don't think they have the funds to support a TV-based.
I'm not sure. Radio Shack just did a Super Bowl commercial. If that happens, anything could happen.
Oh yeah, there was one where it's the 80s called, they want their store
That was
back.
a good commercial.
I really like that commercial.
Cliff Clavin.
And then all 80s things just rushing to the store. Anyway. Go watch that as well. There'll also be a link in the description. I'm very sorry to the people who actually have to edit this. Anyway.
I think I might be one of those people. So, marketing issue.
I might have been a mistake to have a $100 kind of console come out in this same year that the Xbox One and PS4 is coming out, because who's going to want to spend $100 on a Ouya when you could just spend $300 more on a real deal system? Let's be honest. In the terms of consoles, Ouya is kind of at the bottom at this point.
I think, once again, they have an image problem. Because, there's all these things, kids on the internet saying, it's just phone games. I mean, it's not. I've played Ouya games. They're not just phone games.
You can't play Towerfall on the phone. I tried.
They need to show that they have other games.
Yeah.
And they need to make that killer app.
On that note, I think it's time for us to start wrapping up.
And they need online multiplayer. Well, they do have it, but they need a centralized online.
Are you talking about Towerfall or Ouya?
Ouya in general. They have to get that shit online. It is online. A developer could do it themselves, but they need a cross. They need an Xbox.
So it's
Live
basically
PS4.
It's like Xbox Live version 1.
No, it's like PlayStation.
Oh.
2.
Dreamcast.
But, yeah. But still, buy an Ouya. Support them. People of the world.
With that, I'm going to start my closing statement. Because, alright, I have a decent job. I have disposable income. I don't got any responsibilities. I can't convince myself to buy an Ouya. Like last week, I went out and impulse bought a Vita. But I can't convince myself to buy an Ouya.
Well, because I got your Terrafall fixed right here.
Yeah,
well,
for the next month or two.
Whenever I want to play Towerfall, I just make James bring his Ouya over. And although, side note, how small it is, I think is a benefit because you could bring that anywhere.
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring that up real quick. Fits in the palm of your hand. Yeah, so I can't find a reason to buy an Ouya. I keep looking, I don't, especially since I own a PS4 and I need to justify that purchase. So I'm waiting for Towerfall on that. Yeah, that's. I think it could be. I think there could be a market for it if they make it, but they're not doing a very good job of that. Sell it to developing countries, not sell it. Sell it in developing countries. Like the governments.
Yeah, like I said before, it's got a lot of neat stuff going for it. All of it's falling flat. I really hope they get another Towerfall. That's really what they need, is some awesome game or even something better.
I want to add one thing. I'm very sorry. I know I wrapped up, but basically, the point I was bringing up about them it being small and you can bring it anywhere, they need to own couch co-op games because they don't exist in the AAA world anymore.
Yeah.
I think that's the market.
Until the Steam box comes out.
What?
Couch games will come back with the Steam box.
No, that'll be online too.
But all the indie games. So that's the point, I think. But you're not going to bring a Steam box to your friend's house. I'd bring an Ouya.
Bring the tiniest one. Ouya.
I think Nintendo's got
couch
games.
In conclusion, Ouya, own couch games. I'm available. Hit me up. I'll send you my resume.
My experience is the Ouya. The best part of it And the part I had the most fun about, I was very drunk. We were playing Towerfall. Another thing, Towerfall is what we keep bringing up all the time. You can't sell your system on one game, which I think between the four of us...
Tell that to Microsoft.
Oh.
Original Xbox?
Halo.
Everything else sucked.